Hi students, welcome back to Wisdom Academy YouTube channel. In the previous video, you have learnt about electricity basics, where I talked about what is current, how the current is formed. I talked also about what is potential difference to you. In this video, we are going to learn about Ohm's law. Before I enter into Ohm's law, I would like to talk something about some basic circuit elements. So there are some elements combining which a circuit is made. The first element what I am going to draw is a cell. So a cell looks like this. The small one is the negative terminal and the larger one is the positive terminal. There is only one cell. If we have more than one cell, then we call it as a battery. So what you have to be very careful is about when you connect a battery, if this is negative, if this is positive, again one negative, one positive should come, negative and positive. It will go like that only, negative, positive, negative, positive. Then there is something called a switch. This is representation of switch off. It is also represented like this. This means that switch is off, they are not connected. This means switch on, or it is also represented like these both are touching each other. Then we have wire. So now this becomes a joint wire and this is an unjoint wire. Now someone may ask, what is the meaning of joint wire, unjoint wire? See, whenever you are learning about this circuit elements, these now for your class, for your standard, it is just drawing on the paper. But when you go for engineering, when the electrical engineers are using this as a real time elements, and when they are drawing the circuit diagrams, then if they want to draw for a particular home how they are going to provide the electrical connection everywhere, then it should be very clear whether two wires, when they are passing, then are they passing like this or they are passing like this. If whether two wires are touching and going or they are little far away from each other. If they are like this, they are not touching each other, but when you draw it both will have same thing. So suppose I am drawing two wires which are touching each other and which are not touching each other. For a two-dimensional drawing, both will be like this. To distinguish whether they are touching or not, this is the symbol. Then we have ammeter, we have voltmeter, we have galvanometer, we have earth. Right. So what is ammeter? Ammeter is a device, electrical device, which is used to find how much current is flowing inside a circuit. So it will have a negative and positive terminal, and you must connect ammeter properly with negative positive terminals only. Otherwise, if you connect in opposite way, it won't show deflection to you. Ammeter is always connected in series. Remember this. You will learn about it better in the coming classes. So always ammeter is connected in series, whereas voltmeter is connected in parallel. And what is voltmeter? Voltmeter is an electronic device which is used to measure the potential difference. So ammeter will measure how much current is flowing through a circuit. Voltmeter will measure how much potential differences across a resistance. Actually, both ammeter and voltmeter are placed across the resistance usually. So this is in series with the resistance and voltmeter is in parallel with the resistance. Galvanometer, there is no sign. Galvanometer is a device which is used to find the direction of the current, whether the current is going from left to right or right to left or vice versa. It is also used to find very small amount of current flowing, because ammeter, if suppose in a circuit 0.001 microampere current flows, it will not detect because it has some least count. But galvanometer, even if very feeble current, very less current goes, it can detect it. So galvanometer, though since I am not putting in minus plus, that means if you connect like this or connect like this, it will work. Whereas voltmeter or ammeter must be connected with proper negative and positive terminals. So once again I will repeat, this is cell, this is battery. So what is battery? A group of cells is called as battery. This is switch off, this is switch on, this is joint wire, this is unjoint wire, this is ammeter, this is voltmeter, this is galvanometer, and this is earth. earth is always given to prevent short circuiting and also to avoid any leakage of current. You will learn about this at the end of the chapter. Now let us see one of the most important topics of this chapter, Ohm's law. So Ohm was a scientist, or you can say physicist, who made some relationship between potential difference and current. For that, what he did, he made a basic circuit. In that circuit, he connected one cell first, and then he had one resistance, and I said you across the resistance in parallel there is a voltmeter, and in series there is an ammeter. What he did, when the current was flowing from this terminal and going like this, coming out and coming like that, he measured what is the potential difference and what is the current. So these both readings he was taking. What is the reading of potential difference? What is the reading of current? Then what he did, he took the reading for this. Then instead of one cell, he put the second cell. Two cells he has put. For these two cells, he found what is the potential difference and what is the current. Then he made it to be 3. He took the value of potential difference and current, and same way he kept on retaking the readings by changing the number of cells. What he observed by all these readings, he observed that when he drew the graph between the current and the voltage, it came to be a straight line, which shows that potential difference is directly proportional to the current. So how the definition of Ohm's law is, if they ask you what is Ohm's law, you should write that potential difference across a conductor is directly proportional to the current under constant temperature. So very important word, under constant temperature, because what Ohm's observed, when the temperature of all these things was changing, this V and I relationship was getting violated. So under constant temperature, you can also write under constant physical conditions, constant temperature, potential difference across a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through it. So I can write like this, V by I is proportional to some constant, and this constant is known as R, resistance. V by I is equal to R, and from here we get V is equal to IR. So V is equal to IR is the Ohm's law, where V is the potential difference, I is the current, and R, this constant, is known as resistance. It is called as resistance, and the SI unit of resistance will be what? V is volt, I is ampere. So the SI unit of resistance is volt per ampere, which is called as ohm. OHM, ohm. How we represent? We represent like this. This is called as ohm. So I can write from here 1 ohm is equal to 1 volt by 1 ampere. So in the examination, if they ask you define 1 ohm of resistance, then what you should write? 1 ohm of the resistance is that resistance which is there in a conductor when 1 volt of potential difference is applied to make 1 ampere of current to flow from one point to another. I will repeat once again. If 1 volt of potential difference is applied across a conductor and the current flowing through it is 1 ampere, then the resistance of that wire is 1 ohm, right? Next we are going to see what are the factors that affect resistance. So resistance, which we found, was the ratio of potential difference to current. It is affected by several factors. The first factor is length of the conductor. Second factor is area of cross section. Third factor is the nature of the material. And fourth factor is physical conditions, especially temperature. So it was found that the resistance depends upon the length of the conductor. And how it depends on the length? Resistance is directly proportional to length. That means if there are two wires, one of 1 meter and one of 2 meter, then the resistance of 1 meter wire and 2 meter wire, resistance of second wire will be more than resistance of first wire. So why does this happen? You will learn in your higher classes, where you will learn the concept of drift velocity, and you will learn how the resistance is produced and how the charges are moving inside a conductor. That will give you a correct idea of why does a longer wire have higher resistance. Second factor that is responsible for resistance is area of cross section, in which resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. So what does it mean? It means that as the area of cross section will reduce, the resistance will increase. As it will increase, it will reduce. So I have two wires, both of same length, but one is having some diameter, another one is having a higher diameter. And it was found that if this has R1, this has R2, then R2 is less than R1. So as the area of cross section was increasing, the resistance was reducing. Third thing is nature of material. So different materials will have different resistance. Suppose I have nichrome, suppose I have copper, I have aluminum, or I have gold. All these materials will have different resistances, and it also depends upon the physical conditions, which means if temperature is changing or the pressure is changing, then resistance value also will change. If I combine these things, I will get R is proportional to L by A. To remove some proportionality, I have to add a constant, and that constant is called as rho L by A. This rho is known as resistivity. So what is resistivity? Resistivity, I can write it as R into A by L. SI unit of resistance is ohm, area is meter square, length is meter. These two gets cancelled, and I get the SI unit of resistivity as ohm meter. So SI unit of resistivity as ohm meter, and you will find that resistivity does not depend upon anything. It depends only on nature of material and physical conditions, obviously. So if a wire is 1 meter or if it is 100 meter, the resistivity value of the wire will always be same. So whenever you will see, we talk about any material and we differentiate different materials, we will differentiate based upon its resistivity and not based upon its resistance. Because a wire, suppose I take 2 meter of gold wire and 4 meter of gold wire, they both have different resistance, but same 2 meter of gold wire and 4 meter of gold wire will have same resistivity. So when we do classification of materials based upon resistivity as conductor, insulator or superconductor or semiconductor, we will use resistivity as the approach and not resistance as the approach, right? So we came to know that resistivity is resistance into area by length, and SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Let us even question based upon resistivity. What is the resistance of a wire if its length is doubled and the area of cross section is halved? So there is a wire, suppose it has a length of L and the area of cross section is A. What is happening? The length is becoming half of it. Length is doubled. So what is happening? The length of the wire is doubled and the area has become half of it. This has become 2L. So they are asking what is the new resistance. Let the resistance of this wire be R. They are asking what is the resistance of this wire. So we know that in both the cases, what will not change? Will be its resistivity. So in the first case, R is equal to rho L by A in first wire. In second wire, what will be the resistivity? Resistivity will be equal to rho into 2L by A by 2. So I can write R dash is equal to rho into 2L, and 2 will come above by A. So I can write 4 into rho L by A. I know rho L by A is R. So I can write R dash is equal to 4R, which proves that resistance becomes 4 times. So when the wire the length of the wire is doubled and the area of cross section is halved, then the resistance becomes 4 times. These kind of questions are frequently asked in competitive examinations as well as school examination. More on resistivity, I will be solving more questions in the next video. Please be updated, like the video, share with your friends and subscribe our channel if you have not subscribed. Thank you very much.